Hello everyone, this is Getselious, and I'm here to discuss about a game I've been recently playing a little bit of, and I want to give my impressions of the game of itself. And that game I'll talk about is Footgun Underground. Footgun Underground is a soccer roguelike that just pits you as the player, kicking balls at your enemies, dodging attacks, and not scoring goals, but essentially, beating down your opponents using geometry, angles, and whatnot. And this game was kind of developed by Turtle Knight Games and published by Cobra Teku Games. I was aware of this game recently because this is a game I wanted to play at PAX East, but I didn't have a chance to because I did not find their booth and I suck. I apologize for that. And I've also been dealing with a lot of stuff lately, such as take care of moving and finish up my college stuff, so I didn't have a chance to because I recently acquired the I managed to get a copy of the game, but I didn't have a chance to play a lot of it due to schoolwork. That's what happens when you're a graduate student. Things get you when they get you. But jokingly, I had a chance to play this game a little bit more, and I do like elements of it, and there's some elements I dislike. So let me get more to my opinion about my impressions of the game from playing it for a little bit. So the controls feel pretty okay. You jump, kick, jump. You can double jump. If you pick up certain power-ups, you can stomp on enemies like in Super Mario, which I kind of feel like defeats the purpose of the game a little bit, because I kind of got really far in a run by just Goomba stomping enemies to the ground. And the more levels you defeat, the more biomes you defeat, because you take a path, you choose where you want to go. You essentially you get access to more balls and more balls and more balls, and you can do a lot of stuff with more balls. The balls that split, there are balls that become bombs, those balls become buzzsaws, there are balls that travel a certain distance that can lock onto enemies in certain ways. It's really interesting to some degree. But one of the issues of the game I feel like is it doesn't really I want to say feel super skillful when playing it, because in my mind, when I was playing this game, even past the tutorial, I was thinking, oh, hey, you can just you use because I'm playing on pad here, the left stick is your movement, your right stick is where you generally use to aim, and that's not really the case here. You can kind of control where the ball is going post kick after it bounce off a wall or a straight line or something. You can use because I bought my bumper differently, my left bumper to essentially stop the ball in place and then kick it again to have a slight angle of it, slowing it down its trajectory. And that's kind of interesting, but it doesn't really feel that good all the time. Half the time I end up crushing levels with just jumping and kicking the ball wherever it went and just keep blasting it, and eventually I got it. It doesn't seem like there's a time penalty if you take too long in a level or too low in a level, so just keep blasting till you get it, I guess. That's kind of a situation. I also noticed that if you kick the ball before entering the boss of the bio room, some balls will disappear. So if you had 2 or 3 balls, you lose the ball instantaneously. So you actually lose a stock of ball. I don't know if that was intended by the game, but that bug bothered me a lot. So yeah, that's pretty much that one's in there. That's a small tidbit. I feel like it. Another thing I noticed about the game is outside, it doesn't intuitively work the way my brain works, once button click whatever. I would say that there's not a lot of diversity in the amount of level types there is. There's just fight, essentially elite, a shop room, a question mark room, a mini game room, and a boss room. That's really it. And that's about it. The mini games vary, which is okay, but I do feel like some of the biomes, when you keep going, there kind of gets a bit repetitive, as well as they just kind of feel longer than it should be. The waves do get more intense when you fight enemies. You start fighting, let's say, 3 or 4 enemies, and you get 5 to 6 and 10 enemies, and that's about it. So that's about it. What makes this game a little more interesting is that outside of the many type of balls and upgrades you get for your character and the balls themselves, you also unlock multiple characters every time you die or you complete challenges, and you get to play multiple character different abilities. The character I'm playing here, I think it's called Curveball Carlos, and his ability is that he kind of has his ball kind of curves aimed towards the direction of his enemy. It's kind of neat. And he has low HP. He starts with, you can get lucky upgrades to HP, but he has a shield that defends for 1 hit of damage for him that he can use to protect himself for one hit, and it comes back eventually in battle. So it's kind of interesting in that regard. I would say the positive things, one of the things I enjoy about the game is how like some of the balls interact with each other. Like if you had a split ball and a bomb ball, you can like the ball will keep bouncing up and blowing off each other. You can use the lava ball, lava's floor, to like pool the floor of lava, so the enemy, when they walk across, take damage as the ball travels across the area. It has some interesting bullet hell elements and elements that kind of work for it in the way it does, but that's just pretty much it. The upgrade system is that every time, essentially, it's pretty easy. It's very easy to understand, intuitive. So basically, if you get 2 of the same item or 2 of the same power-ups, you just drop them on top of each other, upgrade them to the next level. So you go from like, essentially, I would say the Diablo colors, like white, green, blue, rare, orange. I don't think I saw a purple, so I guess we purple and orange is rare. That's the highest you kind of go. So the brighter the color, the better it is. You can see the abilities of it. And usually I would say the higher the color the ball is, in most situations that will play the game, the stronger the ball, like the more abilities the ball is able to have. So you can like put more abilities on it to increase your chance. So that's about it. I do feel like the game is a bit more chaotic and less controlled when you're blasting everywhere, because half the time I was just like blasting whatever. I just like, because aiming isn't like intuitive that way, so that's about it. I do feel like, obviously, some balls are better than others, and that's about it. I mean, it's a roguelike, it's RNG, it's supposed to happen. But you do have multiple ways of kicking. I said from normal kick to like a short pass style kicking, where you stop the ball, hit it, and you have a charge kick. You can kind of abuse that charge kick pretty easy, so, you know, that works from there. You can air kick the ball, you can kind of jump on the ball and stomp it, and that's about it. I would say and I think that's kind of where the interest of the game lies. If I had to like give my honest impressions of the game, I'll just give, like, I honestly feel like the game it's just okay. It's okay. It's an interesting roguelike. I feel like it could be done better by making the controls twin stick variety, as well as like making the levels a bit shorter, at least the biomes, because it feels like I'm just like kind of slogging through a lot of it. It's the levels are fast paced, but going through each of it is a bit of a slog, because it's like, you know, it's like about, I want to say between 8 to 10 per biome. It's a bit too much, especially when you don't have a lot of diversity of things. Again, it's just mini game, fight room, RNG room, shop, and then boss. Those are like the 5 rooms you get. So it's just kind of okay. If this is your jam, if you like, you know, roguelikes with a bit of a soccer element to it, if you're a huge football head, check this out. Yeah. But otherwise, it's okay. It's not gonna be everyone's cup of tea. There's elements of it interesting, but elements that kind of drag a bit. I do feel like a lot of the interesting parts of it, the intricacies when you figure out how certain balls work and how certain characters or kickers, I'll call them, you can play as. It's kind of neat, and that's about it. Other than that, the game is pretty straightforward. It does what it does, and that's about it. The game is currently on Steam right now, and it's about, no sales, about $14.99. So if you would think about a price point of it, you can get it anytime. It's okay. It's not a game I would say wait till on sale to get it, because there are people who would play this at its full price and enjoy it. But I hope the devs, like, you know, they just like make the biomes a bit shorter, because I feel like if you're going to do all this blasting and shooting, I want to get there first. I just want to just do it as quick as possible. There was entire runs I just did where I was just blasting in one direction, and I just didn't care about, you know, like what direction I went. I was just like, it's, you know, it was not like Slay the Spire math where you could figure out the shop, like, well, Slay the Spire is more intricate decision making, but it felt like, well, each of these paths have a shop anyway, so I'm gonna get to that shop in like 3-4 clicks, so it doesn't really matter. So that's what I end up doing half the time, playing it. But yeah, if you just like, you know, kicking balls around and doing some cool Pong stuff and blowing up the screen, check out Footgun Underground. I think you might enjoy it. But for me, it's okay. I give it a solid at what it is. I think it's my impression of it. And the boss fights in itself of this game are okay. I feel like the higher biomes, they're a little more bullet helly, but that's okay. That's kind of the point. But that's about it. And I hope that the devs, if they check out this video, patch out that weird glitch that happens if you kick a ball before you enter a boss room or certain rooms. The ball disappears. So if you had 2 balls, the ball goes away, and that's not a really good feeling, because like, how did it happen? Why did it happen? I don't know. So you have like less material, but it doesn't really matter though, because this game is I say pretty forgiving on his geometry. You can just get away with doing everything, so the aim is, you know, I mean, I'm not even really aiming half the time. I'm just, again, just blasting a ball. If I see it, I see it, I kick it, I kick it, I see it, you know, just do it. That's pretty much in a nutshell. So, that's my impression of Footgun Underground. It's okay. If this is your cup of tea, check it out. If not, you're not really missing much. It's an okay game at what it does, but not a high recommendation of like interesting roguelikes that I could play of this. I feel like what holds this game back is a bit of, I would say, a couple of control issues, and I would say a bit of kind of slightly repetitive gameplay in a sense of like the parts, there's a huge like cooldown of what you want to do versus the map stuff you're doing. So that's about it. But it has a lot of content in it if you enjoy it, so be sure to check it out if you like it. So this is Getselious from Outerhaven.net, and that's my impressions of Footgun. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you think about it in the comments below. If you played the game, let me know what you think about it. Be sure to check out our YouTube channel for other cool stuff. We have live streams, gameplay, interviews, podcasts, and more here on the Outerhaven YouTube channel. And with that, I'll see you guys in the next one.